Hey guys, Shurum here, and today I'm going to be testing the totally not unstable Faraday Future FF01 at Golden Max in its multiplayer season. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Be sure to check out my Furum Clips channel, Furum TV channel, and my Purple Team Discord. Links to all those will be down in the description, and I hope you enjoy these races. I thoroughly enjoy driving this car. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get quite as many races in it as I would have liked to, but in my time testing it both here and in its road test, which I will talk a little bit about later, it seems to be a just fairly easy to drive car that unfortunately has some physics issues. Its drifting and handling, while decent enough, are not the best. Now, on the good side, it has a very good acceleration. Its top speed is at least average for S-Class. It goes above 270 at Gold Max. And in a lot of ways, this car reminded me of driving the Speedtail. Now, it's not as floaty as the Speedtail, but the speed is similar, and it even looks like that car with its very elongated back end. So yeah, I had a lot of fun testing this car in this season. Unfortunately, I did not have quite as much fun in the road test. Not because the road test itself, like the races, were a problem or anything. It's easy to get through the test. The issue is that the road test is just as, if not more, pay to win than the regular drive syndicates, and you don't get as much for it. If that sounds ridiculous, let me explain. So I made a video about the road test the other day, which you should check out if you have not seen it yet. And in there, since I hadn't gotten too far through the event, I wasn't sure about how pay to win it really was, if it was free to play. Well, a lot of people commented on it and told me afterwards that yes, it is indeed pay to win. You can get up to around, I think, 70-something thousand XP without having to spend real money on it. You may be able to get further if you spend some tokens, but regardless, you aren't able to get more than around 10 to 20 blueprints for the car in the event without spending money. Now, the problem with this is all of the upgrades for the loaned car in the event go away the next time the event will come around. So that means you will have to upgrade this car all over again if you want to get any or many blueprints for the regular car to unlock. And if you, say, spent tokens the first time on the loaned car to upgrade it, your tokens are completely wasted. Other than the fact that you may have gotten a few more blueprints for it, those upgrades are gone the next time this comes around. So do not, free-to-play players, do not spend your tokens on this. If you really want to get this car, I would recommend just getting as far as you can without spending any tokens or anything on it. And then whenever the event comes back, just redo that like 10 times until you get the car, if you really want to get it. But honestly, it's probably not worth the trouble. There are plenty of better cars that are easier to get, and unfortunately, this is not one that I would recommend a lot of people go for. And the other thing is, you know, in the regular drive syndicate, even if you can't unlock the main car without spending real money, at least for your 6,000 tokens or whatever you normally spend on relay packs, or maybe even more in the last drive syndicate, which was a special case. But anyway, you would normally be able to get at least 2 or 3, maybe even 4 cars in the event at 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 stars with your 6,000 tokens without spending money on it. And even if you don't spend any tokens on relay packs, you can usually, not always, but usually get at least some car out of it. This isn't the case with the road test. The Faraday is the only car in it, no other cars are featured, and the event doesn't even really give you many rewards beyond blueprints for the Faraday and the new currency, which I don't even know what it's called, in order to upgrade the car. You don't even get any tokens or anything like that, so it's not even really worth playing purely to get rewards, except for just getting as many blueprints as you can every time it comes around, so that eventually you might be able to unlock it. That is really the only way I would recommend playing this, and that's what I'm planning to do personally. So all of that to say, I'm extremely disappointed in how the road test turned out. It was hyped up as being a sort of mini drive syndicate that would hopefully be easier, just a more casual thing for players to get through without too much trouble. That didn't turn out to be the case, and neither did the idea that it would be somewhat similar to the R&D from Asphalt 8, which I would love to see return. I mean, those, yes, you know, they did take a while. You did have to play them a lot. They often cost some amount of tokens in order to complete, but they were always generally doable without spending money on the game. In Asphalt 8, I had a streak, I don't know how many, but at least a couple dozen events in the game that I finished all of them without spending any money, with just the tokens that I got in the game, with farming, which is one thing I don't I don't want to see come back to Asphalt 9, so don't get me wrong there. But it would be cool to see something like R&D's return. I mean, heck, even the Enduro Double Downs would be interesting to see come back, because, you know, that was the event from Asphalt 8 that took me the longest to get used to. But, you know, eventually I was able to get into it, and it was definitely one of the more challenging ones, but again, it was doable. So this makes 5 of the 7 cars in this update only possible to get now, at least, with spending real money on the game. Now, you know, that may not be a big deal for some people. If you buy the Legend Pass every season, you're probably not going to have too much of an issue with it, because basically 4 of these cars are based on the Legend Pass cars. 2 of the Legend Pass cars obviously cost $10, and then you have the 2 special events of the season, which also required you have the Legend Pass cars in order to complete. Now, you can start them without having the Legend Pass car of the season, which I do think is a step in the right direction, and that is really cool. But, you know, for those of us who don't want to spend money at all, it's a little bit of a letdown. The Ares S1 is one of the cars of the update that would have been possible to get without spending money on the game. I unfortunately was not able to get it, so at this point, I'm just saving my tokens and credits for the most part for next update. I have about 5,000 tokens saved up, so at this point in the game, that's not much enough for anything, but it's something, right, at least. But also, next update, there's going to be something cool that will be coming that I cannot say much of anything about yet, but it should be next update, and I think you guys are going to like it. That's all I can say for now. But yeah, with that, I think it's time for my general review of the Faraday Future FF01. Quite a mouthful, but a lot of F's in the name, which is kind of perfect for my channel. FF01. FF. What does that remind me of? Anyway, it's a fun car. As you can see throughout the video, it gets around most of the turns and everything very well. It's fast enough on most of the straights. I mean, I'm able to get around this turn without hitting the side, which, honestly, this track, this Purple Boulevard track, I use that turn at the very beginning there for testing, at least whenever it comes up in multiplayer, because I can't really get to it otherwise, except in the club races and stuff like that. But yeah, sometimes I will just see, can a car get around that at the beginning of the race? If so, awesome. If not, car probably can't drift super great. Acceleration's good too, but ultimately not worth going for in my opinion. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt, Forza, Minecraft, and other games content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.